What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about an update to the Bayonetta situation. I felt this was probably necessary to do, considering, we seem to have the next step in the story, at least on Twitter, and, I talked about this on the main channel, on this channel, a few days ago. I felt that we should continue it. So for those catching up, right, the original story, and it came from the actress who plays Bayonetta, Helena Taylor, that the offer was like pathetic, right? It was $4,000, the final offer, $4,000 to voice the entirety of Bayonetta 3. Now, where things start to get a little rough is now today. We have our old friend Jason Schreier, right? Everybody's favorite, who wrote for Bloomberg in that they saw, at least what he says, they saw documentation that is not true. It's possible it was $4,000 per session, but it would be up to 5 sessions. So she most likely was going to make somewhere in the range of $15,000 to $20,000. She asked for a 6-digit figure and royalties, right? So like back-end stuff, if the game does well, she'd get paid more. That's what she asked for, and they turned her down. And because she wouldn't accept, they recast for somebody else and eventually got Jennifer Hale. Now, here's the deal. And this makes me it really does. It makes me actually very, very mad. Because when that video came out of Helena Taylor, right, the voice actress, I was in full support of her. And here's the thing, like, I'd still be in full support of her if she came out in the video and said the price that she got. That's the funny thing with this entire thing is actually it has brought pretty good awareness to I guess many people that didn't know this stuff, right? You had other voice actors coming out saying, hey, I made $3,000 for that job. I made $4,000 for that job. And by the way, I mean, you do have people, like actual notable names, coming out and saying, I was paid $4,000 for my entire work in X game. So it is possible Helena Taylor was only offered that $4,000. It could be possible that Platinum Games is lying and that this documentation is whatever, Schreier's lying. I really don't know. I honestly feel the right number is probably somewhere in the middle. That may, she says it's 4,000. They say it was like 15 to 20. Can we settle on like 10? Like, is that okay to do that? And I don't know. And again, the thing is, though, this can still bring really good awareness to voice actors everywhere, for anime, for gaming, for literally anything. You can bring pretty good awareness. Why lie? So I am a little ticked off in that, at least right now, there is some doubt as to who's telling the truth. I want to believe her, and to her credit, I suppose, she did write to Bloomberg in an email saying that their numbers, the 15 to 20K thing, is not true. So she sticks with her story. She's made it very, very clear she's sticking to her story. She wants the whole thing to be over with, she talked about. And people are kind of going at her. It's like, well, I mean, you can kind of understand being kind of done with the entire situation, but I just don't know why you would lie. I feel like if you went up there on stage and you did your YouTube or Twitter video, now it got like 9.5 million views, right? If she said that she was offered $15,000 for the role, would it have gotten 9.5 million? Maybe, maybe not. But I still think, at least how I look at it, and maybe you can all look at it in different ways. I still think like the main voice the top billed person for the main character of the game, the title character, Bayonetta, getting $15,000 still isn't enough. And by the way, just to make sure we're all on the same page, I understand that that's just one part of like the entire game. There are however many employees that actually put the game together. She's a voice actress for multiple characters, but she's a voice actress, you know what I mean? So is it that important? Well, I think she should still make quite a bit of money. I don't know. The 6-figure thing. Okay, so there's obviously that other point, right? I think if she went up there and she said, hey, I'm getting paid $15,000, I still think you could be upset. And by the way, the guy who heads up Platinum Games, the guy on Twitter that, deleted his Twitter, then came back, holy cow, I didn't know he said the kind of things that he said on his Twitter, but he's out there, and I don't know why that's really allowed with Nintendo or with whatever, but there's some very questionable things that he said just historically, and he truly doesn't care. I guess credit him for sticking to his guns, but not really, because they're not really great things that he's saying. So that doesn't make me like them anymore. It doesn't make me actually like Bayonetta anymore. But if you went up there and you said you're making 15,000, I'd still say, yeah, that's probably not enough for like the main character of the game. But here's the deal. If the Bloomberg stuff is true, and she was asking for like, well, 6 figures is 100,000 or more. So that is big. See, there's a big difference between 15,000 and 100,000. I will be honest, I don't know what I would pay for her. You know, like if I was in charge, and here I am saying like, well, you know, 15,000 probably isn't enough for the leading lady. Well, how much is? To be honest, I don't really know. And to be fair, I guess to them, like they do have their own rates, and maybe just pay them the rate. So whatever her rate is, I doubt her rate is $100,000. Obviously, like the back end stuff is also extra. So it sounds like if it's true. And again, these are the tales of two very conflicting. Her story is she was basically told to, like, you know, go homeless. And then their story is that she, like, demanded the entire studio, right? It's, like, major greed, kinda, from either or, and it's the opposite. So her story is that they were major, you know, greedy, and they were going to pay her nothing. And then their story is she was asking for, like, $100,000. She was asking for, like, 10% of the budget. The budget, obviously, not being 10%, right? Just a joke. But that, you know what I mean? That's an interesting situation we have there. And if the Bloomberg story is real, well, yeah, that doesn't make her look good whatsoever. In fact, that starts to now make her kind of as like the villain, the one that the one she's the one that was overreaching versus in her story. So just to kind of keep you guys updated, I mean, we don't have an answer. To be honest, and I said this before, I said this even with like the Jennifer Hale stuff, ultimately, like, we just need to see the contract. Now, again, I'm not demanding to see financial records because there's a line there, and I think you'd be kind of crossing it. But, I mean, at this point, the sad thing is, at this point, can you really trust either of them? Probably not. I'm inclined to believe the actress, the one on the ground floor versus the corporation, run by a guy who's kind of sketchy. I'd rather believe her, but now we have Schreier, who, even though, and I've said this 1,000 times, I really don't like the guy. He knows his stuff. So I'm not going to ignore his report. Even if I don't like him, I'm going to take it. And a lot of other people are taking it and saying, yeah, you know, this seems pretty accurate. The number seems to be like 15K. That's kind of the number going around that they offered her. So if that's true, then she lied, because it's not 4K for the whole thing. It's possible it was 4K per session, but obviously maybe that doesn't sound good in a video going towards emotion. So she had to lie about it and say, well, it's, you know, I mean, in my head, I'm saying it's 4K per session. Out loud, I'm saying it's 4K in general. And at the end of the day, we may just need to see the contract in order to know which one of these two is lying and telling the truth. And that is probably not going to happen. Again, Bloomberg claims to have seen it. I'm sure it's maybe somewhere in the middle, or I don't know. I don't know if her real contract offer was given to Bloomberg, you know, for this like reporting story. I feel like that's kind of a line cross. Maybe that's just journalism and reporting in general, but, you know, whatever. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If there's a part 3, if there's a conclusion to the saga, I'll be sure to cover it, and we'll keep going, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.